For this chapter, we're going to talk about the Bauhaus movement, which was an influential school in the 20th century in the modernist style, whose approach to teaching and understanding art's relationship to technology and society had a huge impact on Europe and the US even till today. It was kind of shaped by the arts and crafts movement, which was a movement that was trying to have a distinction between fine arts and the crafts arts. And also, the Bauhaus movement sought to bring more creativity into manufacturing. It actually started off almost like a medieval crafts guild, but during the 1920s, there was more of a stress on uniting art as well as industrial design. So this was what was important about the specific movement is the merging of art and industry. So the artists that sort of make up this movement are Vasily Kandinsky, Josef Albers, Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, Paul Klee, and Johannes Itten, as well as the architects Walter Gropius, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, and the designer Marcel Breuer. So in the Bauhaus movement, people were concerned about there lacking a soul, the manufacturing of goods and products, and the fear of art losing its purpose and importance in society. So at this time, creativity and manufacturing were turning into two separate things, and the Bauhaus was aiming to reunite manufacturing with artwork and creating design that could be used in everyday life. So objects that would look great but also serve a function. The Bauhaus movement didn't care so much for the traditional academic education in fine arts, but it did leave a stress on intellectual and theoretical pursuits, and kind of saw a link between these and practical crafting skills and techniques that were present in the medieval guild. Also took a more hands-on approach, emphasizing problem solving and experimentation in order to influence the approaches to education of the arts. And the word fine arts sort of became thought of as visual arts. Uh, so it was less a part of the humanities, but more of a sort of research. So there was sort of a joint of problem solving, but also craft was considered just as important as fine arts during this time, so painting was on par with sculpture, and this also went along with their goal of incorporating the modern industrial society with art. Which is a picture of a movie poster for the German expressionist movie Metropolis by Fritz Lang, which was a sci-fi film that had very extravagant sets. In fact, they were the most expensive of their time. It was a very high budget movie. Of expressionism at this time were nudes, portraiture, nature, city life, dance and leisure, sex, primitivism, fantasy, war, post-war politics, religion, and even death. The story is that there are a few wealthy elite who are living in the high-rise skyscrapers, while everybody else, the common person, is toiling and slaving in the industrial world and not living in the high life. Finding sort of a fear of machines as well as a fear of women. There's a female robotic character who is created and seen as diabolical, and this robot is going to be intended to be the leader of the rebellious workers. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Weimar Bauhaus, which was started in 1919 in Weimar, uh, in the German town Weimar. And this was an institution that used the same ideas of the arts and crafts movement, as well as the Arbeitsrat für Kunst, which translates to the Workers' Council for Art. And the Arbeitsrat für Kunst definitely played a huge role in rebuilding Germany after the First World War. This was founded by Bruno Taut in 1880. And this was basically a union that started in 1918 and lasted about 3 years. This was definitely trying to bring architecture to a wider population, and their aims were to acknowledge all tasks of building as public tasks. No longer are things done privately, and there are not specific privileges. And art is more of a community activity. It's a community exchange. It's not as much of an exclusivity. A direct quote from a flyer of theirs was that art and the people must form an entity. Art shall no longer be a luxury of the few, but should be enjoyed and experienced by the broad masses. The aim is an alliance of the arts under the wing of great architecture. And they wanted art to be seen as a statewide concern. They wanted a body to oversee and promote education in the arts. Turn from the medieval styles back into the machine aesthetic, which is sort of what was happening pre-war. This is a very industrial image. It has a lot of points in the buildings, and this was designed by Lionel Feininger, and it's called Cathedral. So this is a woodcut print. So in this image, you can see that the Bauhaus is sort of seen as a cathedral on the hill, something that sticks out. This is similar to Arbeitsstadt's Bauprojekt. So this is supposed to be a very visionary type building. And the stars that you can see here and here and here are meant to symbolize the religious and spiritual qualities of the movement. And his quote is that this was supposed to be seeing the Bauhaus as a crystal symbol of a new faith. And also part of the mission is we're seeing the word Gesamtkunstwerk again, to have a complete artwork uniting both the architecture and the fine arts of the time, as well as taking away the hierarchy of arts and crafts, so all art forms are considered equal.